is World Skate's Skateboard Judging Development Program. Now, this is very important, not only because it directly touches what we are discussing and educating about in the webinar. So, Luca, I think we should talk a little bit more and provide more details of what the Skateboard Judging Development Program is and when it starts, when it's
Now,
for whom it
you're
is.
right in the meat. You're swimming in the waters of our developing program right now, because this is the starting point. So, and the starting point is setting up national systems. So it's really important for us that all the national federations that are part of World Skate set up their judging program. And this course, these webinars you're attending are the starting point for all the nations and all of those that have been already judging here and there, and maybe even a lot at a national level, maybe also international. This is the starting point for you to get the basics, to see and align with what World Skate intends as the fundamentals of skateboard judging. You're not going to get any certification out of this one, so no international certification, but is where you're going to get the basics. To set up the system and to scale up. Scaling up meaning starting getting certified.
Okay, so what would you suggest to people who are watching us right now and they might be like, yeah, but there is no educational program in my country. What should I do? Like, is it enough? And or how do I get to be registered or even recognized in my own country as a skateboard judge to become part of this international program? What would we suggest or advise to the viewers like that?
So if you that are watching are the one managing the national program currently, just pick it up from here. Just adjust your system to align it with what we are going to teach here and what we're going to establish here. If you know there is a program going either in the private sector or through your national federation in your nation and you're not part of it, get involved. Just inform them, show this course to them, and make sure that they understand that it is important to get aligned in order to scale up and evolve.
Okay, that's good to know. So for all of you viewers, get involved, get in touch with your national federation and see where you guys stand or what is needed to be done on your side to take part of this. And this brings me to the World Skate International Skateboard Judging requirements. So Luca, let's talk a little bit more about that. Do we have something that basically limits the access or eligibility for the candidates on the international judging program?
Well, Martin, on this matter, let's take one thing out of the way right away. We need judges to be active skateboarders, and not because we are here to discriminate or anything, is because only if you're active within skateboarding and you know skateboarding firsthand, you have a contemporary experience within skateboarding, is the only way that you will be able to actually understand and evaluate skateboarding in the right way.
In the right way, and that makes perfect sense because we've been approached many times by people who are coming outside of skateboarding and they are all of a sudden interested in it. And the experiences that we've seen is they are analyzing it too much like a computer. And in my personal opinion, skateboarding can be analyzed or examined or dissected like this. You need to feel it and you need to have this personal experience so you can actually relate to what you see.
Yeah, it is impossible for us to be able to write into a book or put into a webinar everything you need to know in order to be able to evaluate skateboarding. It's too complicated. And in order to do that, the first thing that we would have to do is to put skateboarding in a box to limit the possibility. And this is something that is completely against the ethic of skateboarding and the
That would just
ethic of
kill the
skateboard judging.
soul of skateboarding. That would just kill it.
So provided that we cannot create a handbook to teach you how to skate or how to judge, uh, the only other way is for you to build yourself the knowledge and the understanding of being included in skateboarding and experience it and be deepened into the community and what is the peer consideration and evaluation that skateboarder have for other skateboarders. That's mandatory. No way we're taking away that thing. And for this reason, there will be a selection process. So for starting the international path, you need to be able to show that you know skateboarding as a
Hmm.
skater.
That's a great thing to hear because I think a lot of athletes, the skateboarders who actually skate, uh, they were afraid that people who never skated might become judges and evaluating their performance, looking at them and shaping the way skateboarding is or will evolve in the future. And it is great that we are taking this in consideration and creating an environment with criteria that prevents this from happening and that this will keep skateboarders in skateboarding and skateboarding for skateboarders. So what are the other things, Luca, after this
So
great
there's
news for all the skaters?
age. The other
Age.
thing is definitely age. So first thing, we need you to be at an age that where you can be considered legally responsible. So you need to be at least 18. Uh, that's a staple. And then there's a maximum age limit of 50 we
Okay.
imposed in the system. And I mean, this goes back to the concept of being contemporary to skateboarding, closed to
Hmm.
where skateboarding is created and is created by young skaters that are evolving the sport every day by skating and showing skateboarding
Hmm.
around. And at the same time, being relevant to them, being recognized as a part of active skateboarding. And of course, Martin, me and you, we are almost close to that age of 50. I mean, it will come in a few years. And and you see, we realize that we're doing a different job, we're living a different life. We understand skateboarding for sure, but we will never be at the same place we were 20 years ago when it comes to be acquainted and understanding in depth what's happening in the streets.
Okay, that makes sense because, because skateboarding is so dynamic and it evolves so quickly. And we talked about it earlier today about the beautiful thing we witnessed with the female skateboarders and the progression that they've shown throughout the qualification season for Tokyo Games. To be able to judge on that top level, you need to stay, let's say, within the game and keep watching. Pay a good attention to that. And because of the history of skateboarding that was never allowing people to become just skateboard judges, the generation like us, we have other commitments and other obligations in our life than only skateboarding. And to be a judge on the top level, you need to dedicate time. So therefore, the age limits. This doesn't mean that when you reach that limit, you cannot judge. There is plenty of opportunities outside of the sanctioned sector. There are events all around the world where there are no age limits. And we are not imposing these regulations to any promoters around the world. But for the sanctioned sector, we need to set those bars.
And by the way, if you when you get older and you're not going to be sitting in the judging panel, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to, let's say, contribute to the development of judging. The whole point here is to keep bringing in new blood. That's the actual thing.
And the
Keep bringing
vision
in
and
new talent.
appreciation of skateboarding that is happening in front of their eyes.
And there's one other thing I was thinking, Martin, as you were speaking, is, uh, I mean, even just looking at competition as a maniac on TV or on YouTube uh, doesn't really provide you the understanding of what is going on.
Oh yeah,
Because you
that's
need to be involved with skateboarding daily to see how different, even if you can't do the tricks, you need to be able to see the variety of skaters and how they do what they're bailing, how long does it take to do one trick,
oh
and
yeah,
how
and you have to
difficult
try
it is.
it
And you
sometimes.
compare talents and level and everything in your brain. And when you get to the competition ground and you look at people doing things first try, you can really tell how difficult it is and how difficult it is for the other skaters that are currently active to do
Yeah,
it. And
you
you
need to
can't
see
see it
it. You need to see
otherwise.
it on your own eyes. And we said it, being a skateboarder. And if you're sitting in front of the screen too much, you have no time to skate. So it's a healthy combination of these factors. All right. Does these requirements change, or are there some different levels of this certification program for judges, Luca?
So Martin, we have three levels, and of course the level one is the one that you should start from, and is the one that will allow you to judge international events in your continent. In order to qualify for getting into the level one, you need to, of course, to pass that test that we mentioned before. You need to be to having been active into national events or in generic international events for at least 2 years.
Hmm.
From there, you can move on to the second level where you're going to be able to judge international event not limited to your continents, which of course includes the qualification contest to the Olympic Games, the World Championships, Youth Olympic Games, and those kind of events.
The big
And
events around the world in the sanctioned
yeah,
sector.
the main events, let's say, and without too much, let's say, without too much limitation.
Hmm.
In order to get to that level, you need to, having been judging for at least 2 years, World Skate sanctioned event. And this is
Okay.
important. So you start from like you've been just having experience for level one. In order to get to level two, you need to having had experience within the system of sanctioned events.
Okay, so what we said in the beginning, you start on your national level, you start judging skateboard competitions within your country, you work with your NGB, you are nominated for the program that this actual webinar and all its episodes are educating about and trying to prepare the candidates for. And once you pass the testing, you need to keep judging and delivering a good job in order to become eligible for the next higher levels, the level two and the level three. And the level three, Luca, the level three, those are the best guys, right?
Exactly. Those are the judges that are actually getting to the top of the pyramid. And those are the guys the girls that are going to judge the Olympic Games. And of
Okay.
course, you need to have a lot of experience. So we set a minimum of 5 years within sanctioned world skate events at the international level. And of course, considering that the system is moving its first steps now, and we don't have time, let's say, time to get to the next Olympics and having run this whole cycle of education, for now and for Paris, will still be able to promote and allow judges to climb up the ladder until the level three in order to have fresh blood into the next Olympic Games judging panels, with a limited number of exceptions based on being at least into the system at least level 2 and having proven excellence into what you've
Okay.
been doing within World Skate events.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And one more thing, because we describe how it works. We said that it's coming for level 1, for level 2, how long it takes. But for all these guys that are watching us now and want to become judges, there might be some obstacles or bumps on the way. And for various reasons that we don't know now, they might not make it for the testing, or they are still young now, but in a year or two, they might be eligible for the minimum age. This is not a thing that just happens once, right? This will be
Uh,
some thing that will come back and allow all the candidates and the future aspiring judges to enter and join this program and not be afraid that, oh, this is my one time only opportunity, and if I don't succeed, I will not have the chance anymore. That's not the case, right?
of course, this I mean, we every year we will keep running those seminars. So we'll start with a level 1 and level 2
Hmm.
by the end of this year, and then we will have level 3 moving ahead toward the Paris Games. And every year we will replicate the structure of the courses so that everyone can take the chance.
That's great. That's great. That's the open door that many people are kind of waiting for and looking for. And I'm really glad to hear that. Hey, guys, you don't need to worry. If you're not old enough now, doesn't matter. Your time will come. You will have the chance, guaranteed. If you don't succeed on the first try, don't worry. Work on yourself, improve your skills, get more experience, and try it another time. No one's a perfect, and things like this happen to the best too. And this program is designed and prepared for everyone. So work on yourself, educate yourself, get experience, and take part of it. Take your chances to the hand and work on yourself. The door is open for everyone, and we are opening our arms to new judges. All right, Luca. So this was good and very positive for everyone who's viewing. And it brings us to the next topic of how to educate and prepare yourself for the judging career.